Title: Not Becoming Someone New. Remembering who you were before disappointment taught you to doubt yourself, before rejection taught you to question your beauty, before betrayal taught you to distrust your intuition, before someone else's inability to love you properly made you wonder whether you were difficult to love. You were never too much. You were simply carrying your heart into places that did not know how to hold it. And now the story is changing. The people around you may notice it before you do. Your energy is different. Your decisions are different. Your standards are different. Your silence means something different. Even your smile may become different because you are no longer smiling to hide pain. You are smiling because you are beginning to believe in your future again. And just when you think the greatest transformation has already happened, something unexpected is going to appear: a conversation, a message, an invitation, a person, a door, a piece of information you were never supposed to hear before now, and it will connect your past to your future in a way you could not have predicted. Someone is going to tell you something about yourself that you have never been able to see clearly. They will describe the way you affect people. They will tell you what they noticed when you were not paying attention. They will reveal a conversation that happened behind your back. And in that conversation, your name was mentioned in a way that will make you stop breathing for a moment. Because the person speaking about you was not criticizing you, they were defending you, and the reason they defended you is connected to something that happened much earlier than you realize, a moment you thought nobody remembered, a moment when you helped someone, a moment when you showed kindness without expecting anything back, a moment when you chose not to expose someone's weakness, a moment when you walked away quietly instead of humiliating someone who had hurt you. You forgot that moment. Someone else did not, and years later, that small act of kindness may become the reason a door opens for you. Not because you demanded it, not because you chased it, not because you manipulated anyone, but because what you gave quietly found its way back to you when you least expected it. This is why you should never underestimate the power of the things you do when nobody is watching. Your life is filled with invisible seeds. Some will grow quickly, others may take years, but nothing sincere is wasted. And now, something you once gave without expectation may be returning in a form you never imagined. It may arrive through a person, it may arrive through an opportunity, it may arrive through reconciliation, it may arrive through a new beginning, but before it arrives, you will be asked to make one final choice. Will you continue looking backward for proof that you were loved, or will you finally turn toward the future and become willing to receive love without having to earn it? That choice may things other people miss. You feel things other people hide, and you can walk into a room and sense that something has changed before anyone says a word. But there is one problem you may not have recognized yet, and once you understand what it is, you may finally understand why certain parts of your life have been moving so slowly. Stop for a moment, because this is not about criticizing you. And it is not about telling you that something is wrong with who you are. It is about revealing something hidden beneath your intelligence, your beauty, your strength, and the way you have learned to survive difficult moments without allowing everyone to see what is happening inside you. Because the problem is not that you are too weak, but that you have become so good at being strong that something important has been quietly happening to your heart. You think deeply, you analyze everything, you remember small details, you notice changes in people's voices, you can tell when someone's smile is forced, you can sense when a conversation has another meaning beneath the words. And sometimes you know someone is about to leave before they have even made the decision themselves. But what if the very gift that allows you to understand everyone else has become the reason you struggle to understand yourself? You have spent so much time trying to figure out what other people mean that you sometimes forget to ask what you mean. You have studied people's behavior. You have replayed conversations. You have wondered why someone suddenly became distant. You have asked yourself whether you said something wrong. You have examined messages, pauses, expressions, silence, timing, and even the smallest changes in someone's behavior. And while you were trying to solve everyone else's mystery, another mystery was quietly growing inside you. Why do you find it so difficult to believe that you are already enough? That is the question you may have avoided for a long time. Because on the outside, you can look confident, you can smile, you can encourage other people, you can give advice, you can appear calm when everything around you feels uncertain. You can tell someone else to trust the future while secretly wondering whether your own future will ever become what you hoped it would be, and perhaps nobody knows how often you have had to reassure yourself in silence. Nobody knows how many nights you have stared into the darkness thinking about things you never said. Nobody knows how many times you have opened a message, typed a response, deleted it, typed another response, and finally decided that silence was safer. Nobody knows how. Often you have wondered whether someone truly values you or simply enjoys having you available whenever they need you. And this is where the hidden problem begins. You have learned to question yourself before questioning the people who hurt you. You have asked, "What did I do?" before asking, "What did they choose to do?" You have searched for your mistake in situations where someone else may have simply failed to appreciate your heart. That habit has cost you more than you realize, because your intelligence can become a trap when you use it to explain away behavior that your heart already knows is wrong. You can create 10 explanations for someone's silence. You can invent 20 reasons for their distance. You can convince yourself that they are busy, tired, confused, afraid, overwhelmed, healing, or simply having a difficult day. But somewhere underneath all those explanations, there may be a quiet voice asking you a much simpler question. What if they simply are not giving you what you deserve? And that question scares you because accepting it means you may have to stop waiting. You may have to stop hoping that someone will suddenly become the person you imagined. You may have to stop believing that one perfect conversation will repair everything. You may have to stop holding on to a version of someone that exists more strongly in your imagination than in their actions. And you have been holding on to something for longer than you want to admit, not necessarily a person, perhaps. It is an old dream, an old promise, an old version of yourself, a future you once imagined, a moment you believed would eventually return. You have been carrying the possibility of what could happen, and sometimes possibility can be more difficult to release than reality because possibility never gives you a final answer. That is why you keep looking for signs. You notice coincidences. You remember certain words. You see familiar names. You hear songs that bring back memories. You wake up thinking about someone you have not spoken to in a long time. You suddenly feel that something is about to change, and perhaps some of those moments are simply reminders from your own heart, telling you that there are still parts of your story that need healing before you can walk fully into what comes next. But here is something you may not expect. Your problem is not that you care too much. Your problem is that you sometimes give your deepest attention to people who give you the smallest amount of certainty. You can spend hours thinking about someone who spent minutes thinking about you. You can lose sleep over a person who sleeps peacefully without explaining themselves. You can search for meaning in a single sentence while someone else never considers how their words affected you. And because you are intelligent, you can make the situation even more complicated. You can build theories. You can connect details. You can remember dates. You can analyze patterns. You can search for hidden meanings. You can convince yourself that there must be something beneath the surface because your heart does not want to accept that sometimes people simply make choices that hurt. But there is a reason you do this. You want the pain to have a purpose. You want the silence to mean something. You want the distance to be temporary. You want the ending to be a beginning in disguise. And perhaps the most difficult thing for you to accept is that sometimes the answer is not hidden at all. Sometimes the answer is exactly what you have been seeing. You just did not want to believe it. But listen carefully. Because this is where your story takes an unexpected turn. The fact that you have misunderstood some situations does not mean your intuition is broken. It means your emotions sometimes argue with what your intuition already knows. Your heart says, give them another chance. Your mind says, wait. Your memories say, but they once cared. Your intuition quietly says, look at what they are doing now. And between those voices, you become exhausted. That exhaustion has changed you. You have become more careful, more observant, more selective, more private. You no longer tell everyone what you are thinking. You no longer reveal every dream. You have learned to smile while keeping certain parts of your heart behind a locked door. And someone has noticed. There is a person around you who has noticed that you are different. They have seen the way you listen more than you speak. They have noticed that you no longer chase explanations. They have seen that you can walk away from conversations you once would have fought to continue. They may not understand what caused the change, but they know something happened inside you, and what they do not realize is that you did not become cold, you became aware. There is a difference. Coldness says, I do not care. Awareness says, I care, but I will not abandon myself to prove it. That distinction is going to become extremely important in what happens next. Because someone may soon return to your life expecting to meet the old version of you, the version who explained everything, the version who waited, the version who gave unlimited chances, the version who accepted confusion because the possibility of losing someone felt more painful than the reality of being mistreated. But they are going to meet someone different. They are going to notice that you no longer react immediately. They are going to wonder why you are quieter. They are going to question why you do not seem as impressed by words as you once were, and they may even become uncomfortable when they realize that you are watching actions instead. That is when the truth begins to reveal itself, because people can perform for a little while. They can choose beautiful words. They can make promises. They can apologize. They can tell you exactly what you want to hear. But consistency is difficult to fake. Time exposes intention. Patterns expose character. And eventually, you will not have to investigate anyone because their actions will tell you everything. This is the transformation that has been quietly happening inside you. You have been moving from needing answers to trusting your discernment. You have been moving from chasing people to allowing people to reveal whether they want to stay. You have been moving from asking, "How can I make this work?" to asking, "Is this healthy for me?" And that single change can alter an entire life. But there is another part of your problem that may be even deeper. You sometimes believe that because you are capable, you should be able to handle everything alone. You carry responsibilities quietly. You solve problems without asking for help. You tell people, "I am fine," even when you are not. You make yourself useful because being needed feels safer than being vulnerable. And somewhere along the way, you may have confused independence with isolation. You do not have to carry everything alone. You do not have to be the strongest person in every room.